And we should let people know, although I should probably say this at the beginning of the episode, that if you do have young kids, this episode is a little riskier than some of our other episodes. Not that I want to shy away from anything, but I do want to let you know that if you've got your kids listening to this right now, you might want to watch it first before you let your kids watch it, depending on how open you are with your kids.
And if you're listening to the podcast version,
watch the YouTube version, because you're going to miss something that's flopping around in front of you that you don't want to miss.
Yeah, or we could provide descriptive captions.
Yeah, no, I don't think that'll work.
Mike takes out a large black.
All right, here we are, another episode of the Rockman Power Hour. Now, things are a little different on this episode because Ryan's not in his house.
No, I'm not.
Ryan is. You look like you. I don't know. You look like you're in a hotel, like a really swank hotel.
Well, my father-in-law's place is pretty swanky, so we're just staying here for a few days. Got some house stuff happening at home, and there's some internet personalities that tell you every time they break a nail.
Yep.
I'm like, I don't know. I grew up before that, so the very thought of airing every dirty piece of private laundry, I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, does anybody care? And if I tell anybody, and if there's not an acceptable amount of poor babyisms, will that piss me off? So, I keep myself mysterious.
So Ryan's been going through some stuff at his house. He had to move out for a bit, but he's going to be moving back soon. And it all fell a week before Ottawa Comic-Con, which we just came back from, which was an incredible weekend. If you've never been to Ottawa Comic-Con, if you've never been to one of our Comic-Cons that we work with, they're great shows. And I had a great time. I had a really, really good time. I mean, you hosted some panels for the first time. You did some interviews. You got to speak to Maurice LaMarche and Rob Paulson, Pinky and the Brain, and a slew of other stuff.
It was a dream, man. It was insane. It was a really nice smile. Considering all the chaos, it was something to really smile about. It's like the world's falling down around you, but you're like, ooh, my favorite sauce.
Yeah, there you go. So anyways, it was a challenging weekend, but it was a great weekend. And I know you were going through some stuff, but it seems like everything is getting back on its feet now, and it'll get better. So I'm looking forward to you getting back in your humble abode. But before we go too far, and we're doing a little bit different today because we're going to actually be joined by our guest, and we have no idea when he's coming in. So I don't want to give anything away before our guest joins us. Maybe that could be something fun.
I'm pretty sure people are going to see the name of the episode before they listen to it.
Oh, damn, that just totally ruined it. All right, so we're going to be joined by Fat Mike from NOFX today. Before we go too far, that's so true, man. I'm so dumb. But here, check it out. We're if you're looking at us on YouTube and if you're listening to us, we are sponsored by Heartbeat Hot Sauce. They are the most wonderful hot sauce company in the world. And if you use my promo code Rockman20, which might be on screen or might not, depending, this is the best hot sauce in the world. Use this promo code Rockman20 at checkout, and you will get 20% off your entire order. This one's really good, Ryan. I don't know if you've tried it yet. It's called a Shiitake Szechuan. It's the dark side of the grill hot sauce, and this is ridiculously good. Really, really good, and it's actually a medium to mild sauce. So I think you should check it out if you haven't tried. Have you tried this one yet?
No, I haven't, but I will say on record that Heartbeat Hot Sauce always makes the chaos that I'm in seem much more tasty.
Did you at least get some hot sauce with you on your journey? You have some?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
we,
good.
we left in the night and could only take so much. And Melissa was like, "Why are you bringing all this hot sauce? Shouldn't we bring our clothes?" I'm like,
don't need that.
I don't need clothes, Jason. Want to know why? Because I got Studio House designs.
Oh, nice segue. Nice segue.
Yeah.
You're right.
I only have Studio House t-shirts. I'm not even kidding.
That's a good thing.
Literally, as a good luck to getting back home, I literally only brought my Studio House gear, so at least I could feel cool when I'm sad.
All right. Well, I'm rocking the Get Out shirt, which I absolutely love. What a great movie, Jordan Peele. So listen.
That sounds familiar.
What's that? Get
Out. That sounds familiar. That's what
your landlord told you to do. Oh yeah. So your landlord was like, "Get out." Anyways, all's gonna.
Yeah, Comic-Con was super fun, man. I got to hang out with two of our usual listeners slash viewers, Greg and Rosie. And
yeah, Greg Piggins.
I got to bond with them once. Well, I every time I see them, it's always a strange experience. It's either late night in the hotel after the Comic-Con. The time before that was waiting in line to get into the metro in Ramstein for like an hour. Just inching forward, looking up at the storm clouds, knowing that it could downpour on us at any second. It was like a Batman death trap. And before that, unfortunately, was our friend's sister's funeral. So it's like, every time I see them, it's always unique.
And this time was a little different. It was a little bit more relaxed.
Well, yes, it was not a funeral and was not a Batman Reign style death trap. So definitely really appreciate seeing Greg and Rosie. They've seen every concert, every guest we've had. They've been there.
I know.
It's nuts. They've been together, and I don't want to exaggerate, but I believe about 700 years. And they're instead of having a big anniversary vacation, they decided to just see every concert under the sun. And I think that's a cool idea because, here they are kicking all these ass. I just edit all these rock stars. They're going to go see them.
No, so, they're really cool. And they're nice people too. And they've got a lot of passion, a lot of passion for life. And I love the fact it was funny because Julie and I were talking about this on our way back from Ottawa. We were saying how fortunate we were that we work together and we actually enjoy each other's company. We get to spend time together. Like we're joined at the hip in almost everything that we do, work-wise and personally, and it's fun because we understand what each other are doing for work. So it's unique that not a lot of people have that. And we were talking about couples that seem to have really good relationships, and Greg and Rosie came up. We were like, Greg and Rosie really seem to enjoy each other's company, and they're always having a good time, and they've got kids that are a little bit older, and they seem to have gotten over that hump, and it looks like they're going to enjoy their years together, which is so nice to see because you don't see that all the time.
No, not at all. And sometimes the pandemic broke up so many marriages because people didn't realize they're coexisting in the idea that they only had to see each other about 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
And beyond that, it was absolute misery. And I'm thinking, I'm like, I think Melissa's cool and talented. And every time we work together on Comic-Con auctions and stuff, it was great.
So and you're all, you're fortunate that you have one of those situations too. And it's not everybody has that, man. Not everybody has that. And it's a unique thing. I can tell you that. Nonetheless, we've got a lot of stuff coming up fall wise, you and I with Comic-Con. So hopefully we can grab some guests from our Comic-Cons. But today we have a chance to talk to Mike. All right. From NOFX, otherwise affectionately known as Fat Mike. Not only is he a singer and a guitar player from NOFX, also bass player from Me First and the Gimme Gimmes, and owner of Fat Records. So, I mean, this guy is a legend in the punk world, in the music world. And there was a rumor that was very quickly confirmed that they are calling it quits in 2023, which I think is absolutely insane. And then I looked at the timing of it, and then I was like, oh man, they're calling it quits in their 40th year because they got together in 1983. And rumor has it they're going to be playing some of their final shows in Los Angeles, and they're going to be announcing those farewell dates next year. So I wanted to get a chance to talk to Fat Mike because I know you are a big NOFX fan. I know for you, this is like punk rock Super Bowl for you, right?
Absolutely. And it's kind of cool of them to say, no, this is our last year, in a sense where I think Kiss has been doing reunion years for, I'm not even joking, 35 years.
Tours, yeah, it's been crazy.
So they said it, they're sticking to it, and that's the NOFX way. In fact, NOFX kind of reminds me sometimes of the Andy Kaufman of the world. They just do what they want, even if it leaves your head scratching. And there's a certain type of they really give off this feeling of they don't really care if they're annoying you, and I love that.
Oh yeah,
I think it's something missing in music today. Like Please Follow Me just seems to be the underline of everyone's intentions these days, but NOFX are just like,
they don't care. And I think as a result of that, it speaks to a lot of people and a lot of generations. I mean, every kid, NOFX have become one of those bands. They're right up there in the punk world with like bands like the Misfits, bands like Black Flag, bands like the Dead Kennedys, Sex Pistols. They're one of those bands of their generation that are iconic, and everybody wants an NOFX shirt. Every kid, wants to listen to, Punk and Drublic. It's one of those rites of passage,
Goes farther than that, Jason. It's, this is a band that, with the exception of a few guitar lineups until the early 90s, have been the same 4 guys, and they never stopped. There was never like a big long hiatus. We quit. It's like, this is the first time they quit, at least publicly. And same members. In fact, 3 of them are the original members from the inception, the first inception of the band.
Unbelievable.
Isn't that nuts?
Especially in the punk world, because punk rock is known to have revolving doors when it comes to members. So it's really, really cool to see that they are exactly that. Like, OGs still going at it, with the exception of, like you mentioned, a couple guitar players. So, and I'm thinking I want to show him what I got at Comic-Con this weekend.
Sounds good.
I'm thinking it might be something he might be interested in, or maybe he won't be. So I want to see if he's a bit of a nerd too. We have a lot of great stuff coming up. I want to let people know in the next couple of weeks. This is a bonus episode, kind of. It's a full episode though. This isn't a bite size, but we do have a lot of stuff coming up. We've got so many great interviews that are in the can, and I'm going to be talking this week to one of the members of Goat Whore. And that's what I love about this podcast, is that we can have absolutely anybody on this podcast that we want. No one tells us what to do. It's our gig. And it's a beautiful thing that we can have such diverse music, diverse people. And I want to continue doing that. I want to continue to, broadening the spectrum. We go from Goat Whore to Glass Tiger, to Simple Minds to Ken Mode. I mean, we go all over the place on this podcast. So I'm really excited to welcome some more guests, and some various guests that we're going to be having in the next little while. There he is.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, man. How are you?
I'm not on my best game right now.
It's okay. Don't worry about it, man. We're nice.
I had some SM friends here last night, and we went to a comedy show. Fucking hung out with Jeff Ross.
Oh yeah, he's funny as hell.
Anthony Jeselnik.
Oh man, I love Anthony Jeselnik.
I did the can with Jeff Ross on stage for his birthday.
So were you kind of ridden hard and put away wet?
I was so stoked that the main comedian said Fat Mike's in the house. I'm like, oh my god, you didn't tell me.
So you know what? It's funny because first of all, my name is Jason. That's Ryan. This is our podcast called the Rockman Power Hour, and Ryan and I are really involved with Comic-Cons in Canada, like Ottawa, Montreal, Winnipeg, and Quebec City.
So is that comedy cons or comic?
Like Comic-Cons, like pop culture events.
Comic books.
Yeah, comic books and everything that falls under the sun with pop culture. So this past weekend in Ottawa, we had George St. Pierre. And I'm a massive UFC fan. So I did the stupidest thing in the world. I bought a replica belt and I got him to sign it. And I walked around.
What's stupid about that?
It was the best feeling in the world. And all these people that go to WWE that walk around with championship belts all the time, I totally fucking get it. And I'm a 51-year-old man walking around with my UFC belt that's signed by George St. Pierre. And it was the best feeling in the world.
I have a bowling medallion for being a bowling champion. I wear that a lot. And I give people for their birthdays books signed by the authors.
Yep.
But I sign them myself. No one knows.
So you get a lot of people that have these Charles Bukowski books that you gifted to them 20 years ago, and they're like, I can't believe I have a Bukowski sign and it's signed by you.
More Chuck Palahniuk. But they don't even know, dummies.
So listen, I really appreciate you taking the time to chat, man. So I want to.
Are we on live internet right now?
No, we're not on live internet. No,
we're not live, but we will be tomorrow. We're going to put this up tomorrow because the Montreal show is happening tomorrow. So, this is it.
Like that's a good thing in the frame.
What is that?
I'll show you.
Oh, I love that. So are you at home right now?
Yeah, that's going to be me in about 30 minutes. But I only have 2 holds.
It gives us just enough time.
I'm so open about my sexuality because, what I want to be doing after NOFX and during NOFX is I want to bring more happiness to the world. I want to bring more joy to people.
Right.
Same fucking story every fucking night. I talk to people is people do not tell their partner what they want.
Yeah,
that's true.
They're too scared, and that's why I'm here to say, yeah, I dress up in a pink rubber outfit with whore heels and take my fucking fiance's huge monster black cock. And if you're not doing that, there's something wrong with you. I mean, at least take like a cock like this size. You know, because this is a decent shit size. Like any guy's like, I couldn't take that in my ass. Really?
I don't think so, dude.
The biggest shit you ever took, dork. And how good did it feel?
I can relate to that one. I haven't taken a cock in the ass per se, but after a certain amount of big shits, there was a feeling of utopias joy that I can't take away from you, man. That sounds actually pretty accurate to me.
Yeah, and just think about taking the best shit of your life for 20 minutes. And, while you're getting to reach around. Yeah. And it doesn't smell bad because it's not a real cock. See, real cocks is another story. That's for the gays. And that's cool. I don't even like looking at a real cock on porn. Like, oh my God, there's a real cock. Ooh, what's that? What's that coming out of that cock? It looks like the cock is throwing up. Like too many white Russians and it's throwing up.
Yeah, it looks like a xenomorph from Aliens or something. Like cocks are fucking weird.
Cock barf. That's what coming is. I want nothing to do with it.
All right. So 20. Is this true that you're going to be calling?
We're starting off good, right?
I listen. This is our podcast. We're not beholden to anyone. We can do whatever the fuck we want on this, and this is one of the reasons why we started this podcast, because we can talk to anybody about anything. So you're good. But I do want to talk to you.
I had Lou Adler on my podcast. That's fucking rad.
Who'd you have?
Lou Adler.
Lou, yeah. So I know his grandson. I know Nick.
I know this guy.
But let me ask you. You've called it quits. This is it. 40 years, 2023. That's it for the band. And this came out through a tweet, which you answered.
In 2023, we're going to do. We're announcing our tour, which will last past 2023, but there's a certain amount of cities, and we want a couple weeks between every show because we're going to fucking bring it and play every song we've ever written.
Right. So and this is it. Like this will be the end of NOFX. Is that confirmed?
Yeah. It's confirmed. It's not a Motley Crue thing.
Yeah. Like there's no, like, it's not like this is really, you're ready to move on.
I can't even talk about it, how sad I get.
I'm sure.
The last two Canadian shows we played in Edmonton and Vancouver, I just really wanted to say to the crowd, thank you so much for being here for so many years. How much I appreciate you. And I couldn't talk. I was too like I'm getting now.
Right.
But NOFX will announce officially, and it's beautiful.
I know that you have a massive following. We're from Montreal. Montreal and Quebec has always been a really, really important place for NOFX. The fan base here is rampant and crazy. Are you happy?
The whole country is fucking rampant and crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, Quebecers are.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, country. I mean, territory.
No, but I mean, but I mean, it's just Quebec. There's something about NOFX in Quebec. I remember when this band just started rising, it was insane. I mean, you guys really, really have crazy fans here in Quebec.
It's true, and it's also one of my favorite places to play because, like Hugo from St. Catharines, because everyone's like him. Like, I can go to a bar after a show in Montreal. People go, "Hey, Mike, great show," and that's it.
Yeah,
everyone's so fucking blasé and even cooler than French people, because French people in France somehow it's not cool, but Quebec, yeah, it's kind of cool because it's not, we don't care about you. It's just we're not going to bug you because
there's a certain amount of Canadian respect, but French coolness. That's all kind of mixed together.
Mike, I gotta ask you. We're bringing up Montreal and just how you can go to a bar if you go. I remember distinctly you guys played 2 nights at this place called the Metropolis, but in the middle night you played this smaller place called Fafoons, and I believe there was even T-shirts of it that said a short shitty set by NoFX. And you kind of just did whatever you wanted that night. I believe Smelly was even playing guitar at one point.
I was just singing. I was in the crowd.
Yeah. That was absolutely something to behold. How did that show come together? Because I always wanted to know.
Well, we played Fafoon the first time we ever came to Quebec.
Oh, cool.
They spelled our name NOEFFECTS, and it was Looney night, so it's $1 to get in.
Yep.
There's 100 people, and so it was a 25-year anniversary or something. So we played it.
Oh, cool.
And my good friend Louis from Montreal. He made some porn up there, but he gave me 75 hits of ecstasy that night at Fafoon. I was like, are you serious? Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? He's like, there's a strip club over there. I bet you can pass them out. And so we had a good party on the bus. It was funny though, because there were some we're not that kind of band. Like, we don't hang out with chicks. But it just kind of happened that night. And some strippers came over. Well, you have to pay us. We're like, well, really? To hang out on the bus and not just to hang out? Like, yes. So that never happened. But we ended up on the way out of town. We stopped at a park and gave probably 65 hits of the ecstasy to homeless people. They were fucking stoked.
That's absolutely awesome. Mike, another thing, I used to watch this VHS you guys had called 10 Years of Fucking Up. Yeah. And I'm realizing that was 30 years ago for name accuracy. And, I just kind of, I always find that, yourself, NoFX, have had this kind of like, type of public persona, which was, very appealing and very different from the newer bands like, dude, follow me on Facebook. Yo, hit me up on Twitter. It just seemed like you guys did what you wanted. And I didn't really get a sense of who Mike was as a person. I knew who Fat Mike was on stage, but Mike as a person, the first time I ever saw Backstage Passport, I was just like, wow, I always knew there was a deeper level of emotional sophistication underneath,
Where were you from? No, I think the book really tells it all about us. Mm-hmm. And after people read Hepatitis Bathtub, they really think about us differently. Because, some people press or people don't know us. Oh, yeah, NoFX pop punk band.
Right.
Whatever. Like, no. We're a hardcore band with melodies. And we've been through it. And it's kind of weird how everyone in the band has been through it. I feel fucking sorry for myself all the time. I've been watching Three Stooges episodes and Little Rascals, and it's really they were my parents. That's all I had when I was a kid is TV, and that's why I wear a top hat these days. I don't know. People don't. That's kind of why I want to stop doing NoFX, is because I want to do TED Talks. I want to do stand up. I want to bring joy to the world through communication. And I think sexuality, you wake up your partner with a blowjob or, a clit job a couple times a week, the world would be such a better place.
You know what? I 100% agree with you. I think that, and we started off the conversation about people not being open about what they're into. That, we're joking around, we're laughing, but there's a lot of truth in that. And there's a lot of truth in the fact that it is. And the fact that people aren't able to be just brutally honest with each other. And if you really love somebody, if you're with someone for, say 10, 20, 30 years, and you're not honest with each other about how you're changing, then, or what you're really feeling, then you're living a lie. And being someone who's been in relationships like that, where I have lived lies and had double lives and tried to, make somebody else happy when I wasn't happy, it's the worst fucking place to be.
Yeah, and you spend so many, like I have a song I wrote for Barbra Streisand. Hopefully it'll come out someday. Why do we always wait so long when we know what we have is wrong?
Oh, that's great.
Why do we need someone to belong to?
Right.
And people stay in relationships for so fucking long, and people are just fucking cowards.
Yeah.
We're so scared of rejection. And I live a very open sexual lifestyle. And it's still hard to say, like, baby, remember when I said that it'd be really cool if you wrap my face in tape, and so I can't breathe, and but you don't want to ask for it,
right?
Because not only are you scared of rejection or someone saying I don't want to do that, but you're scared of that look of, oh my God, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah. No, you want someone to be to be on your same wavelength, and that's and it's
not even that. But if your chick said, "Will you suck my elbow?" It means so much to me. Please just touch my elbow softly. You do it.
Of course,
you do it.
Right.
Okay, it's a little weird, but you're not going to say it. Well, it's weird. Just, sure, baby, I'll do that for you, and you should be able to say what you want. Gotta go both ways. But people are fucking cowards.
True. And fear stops a lot of people from doing a lot of things. So I think the fact that you've, been successful doing what you love to do, and you going and ending that and going off and actually telling other people how they can do the same by being open and honest, I think that's you'll probably do more good for the world than doing music.
Well, because that's what it comes down to. I'm tired of entertaining people. I can't do it anymore. Just playing songs. Yeah. And I do like banter, but that's what I want to do stand up instead, because I want to bomb. Can't bomb on stage with NOFX. No one, maybe no one will laugh, but it's not bombing because you just go into a song,
right? But to be actually out there like open and yeah, it's scary, but it's facing your fears. And I have friends that are stand-up comedians, and they always tell me the same thing. It's like the most terrifying thing going out there because.
And I love the challenge.
Same.
I've done it twice, and I did pretty good.
I'm sure you did. And I think a lot of it is just, when you did it, did you have stuff prepared, or did you just work the room?
No, actually, I was going through my divorce.
Okay.
With Soma snake oil, and we're in our closet dividing up our sex toys. And there's a lot. And we're dividing up cocks and restraints and whips, and we're kind of teary-eyed because it's, we had a good ending of our marriage, but dividing up your sex toys it's tough. And I said, there's a comedy show going on. Let's go to the comedy show. So we both went to a comedy show, and I knew a couple of the comedians, and I go, can I do fucking one bit? Can I just get on stage and do 6 minutes? And he goes, sure. And I talked about dividing up sex toys, and I went into some other stories, and the crowd fucking loved it, because I'll talk about shit no one else is talking about, because, trying to have no pride and no shame in your life is how people should be. It sneaks up on you, but there's no use for either one of them. Well,
it's ego too, right? Ego deflation is probably the best thing. And
NOFX has always been self-deprecating.
Yeah.
That's what I loved about it. No, actually, Mike, I got to say, like, I think it was great to grow up and, seeing you guys as this example. Like, my first EP I ever put out was called We Suck, So What? Because there's this kind of like, yeah, if we're awful, but we like us. And there's this incessant need to be, I find there's this incessant need to be liked a lot of bands have. What you're saying about S&M sexuality, that was all there kind of like in the origins of punk. If you think about it, in the 70s with Malcolm McLaren's Sex Shop.
Fuck yeah, it was all rubber.
It seemed to be like all the, the kids kind of ruined it, and their kids put the rules in there. And eventually punks just kind of became this, you're not punk if you do this, you're not punk if you do that, from a movement that was really supposed to be completely open to begin with. And it seems like you're finally bringing it back 45 plus years later.
Well, I'm trying. And my band, when I first started cross-dressing, well, that was when I was a teenager, but publicly, do you have to cross-dress all the time, Mike? No, but I like to. And because so many people say, you've helped me. I just went on a cruise to Alaska, and this big old dude said, are you Fat Mike? I go, yeah. He's like, I got to tell you that you gave me the confidence to cross-dress.
Awesome, man.
And he goes, can I show you a picture of me? And I was like, sure. And he looked stupid. But no, he does not.
I hope he's not listening, because you just deflated that beautiful moment you gave him on the cruise ship.
He didn't look stupid. You know what he looked is happy.
Yeah.
He looked really happy. And wow, how much that means to me is
Mm-hmm.
that because I do what I want, and yeah, maybe it's not good for our career because a lot of people. I have so many haters, which is incredible. How many haters I have because I'm a good dude. I've never lied. I have honor. Fat Records has never been. We've never been in a lawsuit, but people they just don't like people who are happy.
No, I agree. I agree with you 100%.
It's reverse conformatism. It's all these people like, how dare you not be as liberal as us? Now do exactly what we say or else.
Yeah, or you better be, there's shit going on in the world. Be miserable.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I sang in a song once, like waking up, watching the news, it makes my stomach fucking hurt. So I read the news at night and don't sleep. I don't know. But
so
the world's fucked.
Yeah.
All we could do is bring as much happiness.
So you get these people that say like, how can we help the world? How can we change the world? And I've always been someone that's believed that it starts with how you interact with the people in your life, the immediate people around you.
Your community.
Exactly. If you're shitty to your family and your friends, then how do you expect things to get better if you're not showing an example from? It starts from if you look at it as a nucleus and it goes out, it's the best way.
Yeah, I don't know what nucleus means, but I hear what you're saying. When I was,
what fucking nucleus means. Stop it,
Mike. I have no doubt in your stand-up ability, dude. You are so funny, dude. You're sharp as a tack. Considering how much ecstasy you tell me you give to homeless people, you are sharp as a tack, dude.
I would go see NOFX any day of the week, but fucking Fat Mike stand-up, I think I would line up for that, dude.
I think I would travel for that.
It'll be that good. We'll see how it goes. But it's like what I do, like in San Francisco, I had a dinner party one night, 8 people over there. And there was a liquor store across the street. And I went to the liquor store earlier and I know the people who run it. And I go, hey, can you come up to my apartment, knock on the door, come in and say, here's your fucking batteries. And I'm going to say, here's your fucking money. And then he's like, what? I go, people, they won't know what's going on. It'll be really fucking awkward and awesome. So he did. He knocked on the door and he came to the table. Here's your fucking batteries. Well, here's your fucking money. And he just bailed. And everyone was like, what the fuck just happened? Why is it so aggro to buy batteries? And who the fuck is bringing batteries to your house? And that's how I live. I love to just get laughs from people every day from being awkward. Because I am awkward. I mean, I'm spectrum for sure.
Mike, we were talking a little bit before about I was comparing NOFX to the Andy Kaufman of punk rock, but it sounds like your comedic tendencies really pull off from Andy Kaufman, and it's kind of like this is going to make them react. So
Andy Kaufman was funny. Andy Kaufman was genius, but he wasn't funny. He wasn't funny.
Mm-hmm.
We're way funnier.
Can I ask you, since you're going to be hanging it up with NOFX, are you still going to have a lot of dealings with the day-to-day to Fat Records? Are you still involved with Fat Records, like day-to-day? Are you able to step away from it a bit? Like, does it run itself?
You know what? I'm not telling.
Okay, no worries.
No.
But do you act more like an A&R guy? Like when you find something, you bring.
I sign the bands. The bands.
That's it. So you do more like A&R.
Yeah, but
you've produced some really amazing stuff over the years, Mike, but also like just having that ear, like the first 5 bands that were signed to Fat Wreck are all bands that still have lasting careers and still are beloved by so many people. Is the passion still there after all this time to find new bands?
No. They have to kind of find me.
Okay.
Someone says, check this band out. And I have a new record label now. Bottles to the Ground. It's music that would not be on Fat.
Okay. Well, that's great that you're not, you don't have to put yourself in a box that way.
No, but I do my best thinking inside the box, actually. I have a trunk that's leather lined and breathing tube. And yeah, that's where I do my best thinking inside the box, not outside the box. But check out this is crimewave.com because our style of music, we call it crime wave. Because that's the only way to describe it.
Cool.
No, there's no way to describe it, but that's how we choose to describe it.
This is crimewave.com. All right, I'm going to check it. I actually want to kind of check it out while we're talking.
Do it.
No, I won't do that.
Mike, I wanted to ask you about well, just in songwriting in general. I doubt you've met thousands and thousands of people since, but there was a show in Montreal where you were talking to, I can't remember what band it was, but you were mentioning to them that it would be probably in their best interest to add more chords into their music.
It's probably Simple Plan.
Beatles had so many different chords in their music that you can't even hear, but they're there. They create an atmosphere. And you and I talked a little bit about how cool it was that in the Beatles, what made it work is that Paul wanted to be ultra pop, but John had a dark side that kept them from going there. And then John had a dark side, and Paul still kept that melodic ear. You're pretty much the co-writer in NOFX, but you've never stopped writing music after all these years. You still write so many music, double albums, all that. Is it kind of like why NOFX has to stop, because you just put so much music out there that it's like, unless I can continue at this level, I'd much rather put it behind me.
Well, what the thing is our last album, single album, actually got some of the best reviews we've ever had before. It doesn't matter how good I make a NOFX record, people just don't care that much because it's our 15th, 16th album. So, and I have 3 NOFX albums in the can right now too. We have a new album coming out this year. It's called Double Album, which is the second half of single album. We recorded at the same time.
Right.
And then I have 3 more albums that are already done. And I have hundreds of other songs. And I can't keep playing NOFX. Can't keep recording NOFX songs. It's just mostly because I'm so fucking sick of my voice. Who isn't? Really?
Oh, I love your voice, Mike.
It's signature. It's annoying. It's still Greg Graffin,
Yeah, but you have one of those voices that sound undeniably like you. In fact, I've heard more Fat Mike impersonators than I've ever heard voices similar prior to you.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. You got a signature voice because that's all I got. Kurt Cobain, Tony Spy, they had fucking great voices, but mine's signature, so it's pretty cool.
Would you rather have a great voice or a voice that's more unique and memorable?
Oh, I don't know. That's a tough question. I'm just glad I consider myself a good songwriter.
Well, I would agree. And I got to tell you, man, I know I mentioned it before. I'm intrigued about the stand-up. I really, really am. And I think the TED Talk idea is great too, because I think I think sometimes when you listen to a TED Talk, you might not necessarily relate to the person that's up there, but I think if someone can see someone that they can see themselves in, telling them how they navigated their way through life and found happiness, there's a lot of good that can come from that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, happiness is right there in front of all of us. You just have to find out what makes you happy. And people they all think it's money. And they all think their job has to make them happy. Your job doesn't have to fucking make you happy. No. I mean, I went to college and real estate school while I was in NOFX because I was going to be a real estate agent and play punk rock. But, it turned out a little different. And real estate agents are total thieves. But point is that you just have to have a job you don't hate in order to do what you love in life. And what I love in life, seriously, I've been kind of really enjoying music lately. But, way more into getting tied up and whipped. That's me.
Mike, thanks so much for taking the time to chat today. I know you got other people to talk to, and you've already...
You're the only people, but thank you for me. It's been a pleasure. And aren't we supposed to plug something like we're playing, or is it sold out?
No, you're playing Montreal tomorrow. I do believe it's sold out, but we can plug it anyways because it'll really help the resellers make a lot of money, especially with the news of you guys calling it quits. It's just gonna. Those tickets are gonna go through the roof. So.
Well, I will tell you one thing. It's not our last show in Montreal.
Oh no, well, of course not. I mean, you're gonna have to come back and do a proper farewell show. That's for sure.
Our farewell shows are going to be way gnarlier.
Going to be through the roof. What are you eating?
This is called pizza.
Thanks for taking the time, Mike. We really appreciate it, man.
I enjoyed it very much. Thank you for being fans and asking me cool questions. Oh, this is called kale.
I'm very familiar with kale.
I'm kidding.
All right.
Thanks, man.
You guys have a good one.
All right, you too, buddy. Take care. Well, that was something.
That was the most unique interview I think either of us have ever done in our entire lives.
You know what I feel bad for? I feel bad that you have to edit that.
Yeah.
There's nothing that should be taken out of that thing.
No.
That was amazing.
But I got to say, and I didn't want to put him on the spot because he doesn't seem to be like the type of guy that takes flattery very well without spinning into hilarious jokes.
Yeah.
But the Mike I've seen over the years, as a fan, just watching him on stage, or the few times I managed to talk to him somewhere, I really love how happy he seems.
He seems really happy.
Yeah.
And I really do think that him doing, the thing is with him, when he's saying things, I don't know if he's joking or not, but if he is going to go into comedy, and if he is going to go into TED Talks, and he really does want to help people that way, I think he can do a lot of good, because I think there's a lot of people that'll be able to relate to him. And, when you see a guy go up there in a suit, with the wind tunnel tested hair, and he's like, this is how I navigate through life. A lot of people would be like, I don't relate at all. But I think a lot of people would be able to relate to him because he's got an interesting story. So, well, listen, Ryan, that was an absolute pleasure to talk to Fat Mike. I really, really enjoyed that. And I'm glad that you were able to be on there on the whole call with us. I know how much that meant to you, and I know you're a big NOFX fan. And I'm glad we got a chance to talk to him. I think he's a really interesting guy, and talented too, man. You don't do something for 40 years and not be good at it. So it was cool to chat with him. Big thanks to our sponsor, Heartbeat Hot Sauce. Check him out. This is Heartbeat Hot Sauce. This is the dark side of the grill. Shiitake Szechuan. And if you go to heartbeathotsauce.com and use the promo code Rockman20, you'll get 20% off your entire order. Thanks to my co-host Ryan Stick. Thanks to Fat Mike. And thanks to our producer Julia Kajerski. And thanks to all of you for listening. Make sure you like, subscribe, and tell your friends all about this podcast. And we will see you next time on the Rockman Power Hour.